Good morning, everybody. I am Todd Obert, President and CEO of Productive Corporation, joined here alongside me, virtually, technically, metaphysically, Pete Greco, our VP of Sales and Tech. Today we say, welcome aboard, Sophos Cloud. That's what we're talking about. It has been out here for, I would say, over a year, has been rolling right along and has some cool updates and extensions. It's the foundation of what Sophos is doing today and in the future. So if you have come to our events in the past, you know how we do it. We like to concentrate on the core subject matter and dispense with the fluff. To that end, we will meet productive in 1 minute or less. Then I will hand the microphone over to Pete Greco. We'll talk about Sophos Central and the Sophos Cloud overview. If you do have questions, please utilize that chat feature and we will get your questions answered straight away. So first, who is Productive Corporation? Well, I'm very glad you asked. Productive is a security and storage software expert. We provide security solutions for mid-sized companies. We have a team that is specialized, that has 6 or more arms that can help you with technical and licensing questions as well as pre-sales engineering. We also implement, test, and optimize the products that we sell. Everything from a security assessment on the front end to vulnerability assessments, penetration tests. We can take that UTM or firewall and help you config and implement it quickly so that you are not down and that it's done correctly. We also produce a lot of third-party content like today's event. We produce webinars, we produce 2-minute text, we do knowledge series on the crypto threats. All of this is at productivecorp.com/content as well as our YouTube channel. The bottom line, we have the resources to help you. Whether it's implementation, assessment, licensing, or optimization services, we are here to help. Help at productivecorp.com. And that is who we are. And so as I talked about, one of the ways we add value are putting on these web events to talk about products in the space, how it's relevant to you, and what is going on with that. To that end, we are going to be talking today about Sophos Cloud. The man with the plan who's going to be talking about Sophos Cloud is Pete Greco, our VP of Sales and Technology, who has been working with customers for the last 15 years on hundreds, if not probably thousands, of security-related projects. He's seen the good, the bad, the ugly. He is the Clint Eastwood of IT security. Let's hand the virtual microphone over to Pete Clint Greco. Pete?
Thanks so much. Hello, everybody, and thanks for hopping on with us today. Appreciate your time. We'll make this informative and as quick as we can. So let's talk a little bit about some of the features that are included in Sophos Cloud. And I'm not sure if I heard you correctly, Todd. I was trying to shut my office door. I think you said this has been out for a little over a year. It's actually, this product's been out for over 2 years. So really battle tested, field tested. We are using this on a lot of machines internally, and I'll show you kind of some of the stuff that we're doing with it and give everybody a real good look. Lots of different, yeah.
So the original cloud product's been out for 2 years, but the centralized console, has that been out for 2 years too?
Oh, no. Yep, you're right there. The centralized console and bringing kind of some of this stuff together is definitely the newer piece for sure. When it originally came out, it was really Windows and then Windows and Mac and then iOS and Android for the support. And there's been just tons of new features and new things added along the way. So and a lot more to go as well, which is pretty interesting. Right, so Android or Linux support, and then virtual support is some of the newest stuff that's been added in there. So a lot of folks out there running Ubuntu or Red Hat or whatever, they're going to be able to protect those. And if you're not keeping up on the security news, lots of opportunities to get your Linux machine infected with malware or hacked. So putting protection on there is absolutely a requirement for sure. Let's advance one here, Todd. So in the Sophos Central, right, Sophos is basically bringing all of the components that they have into one console, and that includes managing the endpoints, managing the servers, right now bringing in your Wi-Fi, which previously was only able to be managed from the firewall console into the same console, and then bringing in the UTM or next-gen capabilities into this one login. Role-based provisioning, so if you've got folks that are only on the network side, you only want them touching the firewall, you don't want them touching the endpoint policies or vice versa. You got some folks that you want running reports, but you don't want them doing anything. You'll have all of those capabilities as well. And you'll be able to view all of the information that you need to see to make sure that your protection is running, see what kind of threats you're getting, figure out what end users are doing on the web protection, on the anti-spam, whatever, from one cloud-based console. And this is really where we're talking to tons and tons of folks who are loving the cloud-based products from an ease of management, especially in the modern workforce where folks are working from home, they're out on the road, they're maybe sitting at a coffee shop or some other public spot, and they're wanting to work and access data and do the stuff that they traditionally could only do at the office. Now you're able to not just get those signature updates onto that machine, you're actually able to implement policy changes. You could do whitelisting. Maybe you're blocking a website that someone needs access to. They're out of the office. That web protection is following them. You're able to put in whitelists. You're able to get real-time reports on what folks are doing. So if you have someone out there trying to cause an incident, you don't have to wait to find out about it until they get back onto the network and get those reports. You're getting all that stuff in real time. So working out pretty slick, I think, and very easy to set up and get rolling. And we're going to take a look at that now.
Yeah,
let's take a look.
Absolutely. We will.
Put it in writing.
We will
now we have to do
it. What's that?
I said you put it in writing. Now we have to take a look.
We must.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's get this rolling. So I'm using Chrome here. You can take advantage of IE or Edge or Safari probably. I don't actually have Safari installed, but Firefox is the other one that I predominantly use. They all work out pretty well. I take advantage of Password Manager for managing my passwords. That's what you see there. That's not related to Sophos at all, so I'll automatically plug in my password for me. If you're interested in password management, mention it to your productive rep when they follow up with you after the event. Once we get into the admin console here, we're starting off right at the dashboard. You can see I've got one medium alert. It's actually telling me that my machine was offline last week. This was actually while I was doing a rebuild thanks to a network card glitch. So I've reviewed the error. I actually knew what it was when I saw it, but I could click on my machine now and start reviewing the error and figuring out what was going on. You can see have got everything. I'm back up to speed. Now, if I were out in the field and I was calling into an admin saying I was having some problems and maybe we thought it was related to the Sophos protection, I know in this case it wasn't, but if we thought maybe it was related to the protection, we could disable that tamper protection for just this machine. The thing that I really dig is I can actually give the tamper protection password right over the phone to an end user, and then once we're done troubleshooting, we can simply generate a brand new password. So I don't actually need to permanently disable it if I don't want to. I can simply give them a password, regenerate a new one after we're done doing whatever troubleshooting we might need to do. Most of the time, if I could get access to the box, I would be doing it myself. But you know, with folks being gone all the time, not being able to come into the office, maybe they never VPN in, so they don't have VPN access or whatever. You can't get control over that machine physically. Still gives you a lot of moves on what you can do. Now,
so then you're working with one of your employees to give them, say, try this setting, open this, close this, let's check this out, right?
Yeah, and that could even be a situation where we're blocking USB ports, Todd, and someone's at a customer site. I've got this big file that I need to give you. We're having issues, or they don't have a guest Wi-Fi, or that didn't work out. I need to get this via USB stick. Hey, can I get a one-time exception here to plug a thumb drive in? Right? We give them the tamper protection code. They're able to get that opened up, bring that thing back in. When that policy updates, it goes back into a lockdown mode, or I can push that lock out so that we're getting back to our compliant level, right? Or we could go in and make a policy change. If I was like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't whitelist your thumb drive, or that was an accident or whatever, we could go in and make a policy change for the whole group, or I could just make an exception for this one machine, right? So whatever you need to do to make it work and keep it compliant with your policies, right? So can see a lot of information about the machine. You can see who the last user is. That's me. Now I can click on myself and go and see all the crazy stuff that I have going on. One of the things that's interesting about the cloud product is the licensing is not device-based, it's user-based. So I'm using one license for all of my machines here. You can see I got a couple issues going on. I deinstalled the mobile agent on my iPad. I kind of wanted to fool around and see what went down there. It immediately removed all my Wi-Fi settings, which is how we've got it configured. And now you can see I've got an alert here. This is actually my of doors. This is my new build, so I can actually delete this if I want to. And then this is my home 17-inch laptop that probably just has been off for too long. So if someone turned this on, I could push out this update, and we'd probably get her back to a to a green check here, right? So now I can see all the information related to my user versus to the device. Now, because it's user-based, users can have more than one device. The policy follows the user. So if I go log on to Todd's machine, or one of the marketing guys' machine, or a finance guy, or whatever, the policy that applies to me is now going to apply to that machine that I'm logged on to. So again, for troubleshooting, where it's pretty slick is you go over someone saying, oh, it's the security. I know it's the security, which I found the bulk of the time it's not. Right? So you go over, you log on as you, and now those admin policies take effect, or again, we can disable or do whatever we want to do from the agent. But now the admin policies take effect, and we can see, oh, this app is still having an issue, or this thing is still running slow, or whatever, and now we're disproving that it's the endpoint, and we can start figuring out what the real issue is. Makes it great also for shared machines, where maybe you've got a supervisor logging into a shared machine alongside their employees. They've got some additional privileges. Maybe they got a few other websites that are whitelisted, or whatever it might be. Those policies are changing as those logons are changing. Now, it could be one policy applies to everybody. That's not the case for most folks. So to get started, we want to get our users in there. So we'll take advantage of the AD Sync tool here. Let me just minimize this so this is a little easier to see. Right, so I have this installed on my personal workstation. It's ready to go. It checks for updates as soon as it logs on. The program is up to date. I'm just going to do preview and sync. This is going to go out to my Active Directory, and it's going to pull any changes. So you can see I've got a couple things to add. I've got some users to modify. I've got a new group out there. Right now I can approve changes and continue. If I saw something that was not what I was expecting, I can reject the changes and stop, so it gives me a lot of capability. To configure this, pretty easy. You're just going to plug in all the information that you already have and know. And then we can schedule this to run, so our AD doesn't really change very much at all. So I pretty much just run it on demand, but we could schedule this to run periodically if we wanted to. And if you've got a couple of different admins that are in charge of of the console, each person could be running this on their local machine, or you could install it in a central location for the admin team to access. So a lot of different ways you can handle that. Let's go back up to the dashboard. I was saving this error just for you all. I'm going to go ahead and check on that.
Thank
I can
you.
reinstall that. That's what I do. I'm going to go ahead and mark that as acknowledged because it really drives me crazy when I have alerts showing up, right? And so that clears out my information there. I've got some other summary information here that you can see, and I can click on some icons here. Let's see if I can actually click on it and get some different kinds of information about the environment. Anything that I see over here, I can click on, and I can actually go straight into the reports, and I can start getting some information about what's going on. You see a lot of personals and dating. A lot of time that's Facebook related. You can start drilling into that stuff to get more information about what's happening, right? So a lot of good information there. As I go to my policies now, right, we can start looking at how we have this configured. So you can see I've created a couple of different groups here. And when we were originally beta testing this, we didn't have any available machines to test it on. So I threw it on some of my home machines. Todd's actually got it on a couple of his home machines. And now we're managing boxes that have never, ever been on the domain or in the office or whatever, the same way that we're managing all of our domain-based machines. So let's drill into one of the policies. I'm just clicking on that, and it pulls me right in. You can see the employees that I have added to that group. I can add more in here. You saw myself somewhere here, right? So I could get added in there. The policy is on. Obviously, we've got our base level threat protection. We can use the defaults. I have mine customized a little bit here. Just got these slide boxes that we can slide over, right? Enable scheduled scanning. I do Friday nights at 11. Scanning exclusions. I've got some AD stuff and registry stuff excluded here. That's typical Windows setting stuff. I can do global exclusions that I push out to all of my groups or call in all of my groups, or I can do individual scanning exclusions just for this group. So a lot of capabilities there to set that up. Peripheral control. You know, what do I want to do with Bluetooth? What do I want to do? And look how much Bluetooth we have in the environment, right? So every time someone's walking around with that Windows 10 laptop or just modern laptop and they've got Bluetooth on, that is a hack point, right?
Yeah.
I was just talking to one of our partner engineers who's going out to Black Hat, and he was saying he's not going to take his regular cell phone. He's not going to take anything that's got Bluetooth. He's going to buy a burner flip phone to have as his cell phone because he's so worried about someone being able to get access to all of his sensitive data and go through him back into the organization, right? And that's not realistic for most folks who are doing business travel or doing this kind of thing. Black Hat, though, you are inviting trouble if you go there. So he's taking some extra precautions, right? But here's how we get control of it here. Secure removable storage, read-only or block. And then we can do some whitelisting. So if we're using a Sophos encrypted thumb drive, or we're going to allow our employees to use a thumb drive as long as it's encrypted by us, right? We can start whitelisting those devices. So my device will plug into any machine, but nobody else's will, right? A lot of different ways to do that and set that up. Right here's where we put in those exceptions. Application control, very easy to get this rolling. You can see how many applications we're blocking. It's really quite a large list here. As we scroll down and click on any of these, then you can see the items. Just clicking on these adds that to the block list, and then I can also do new applications added by Sophos in the future. I might allow WinZip, or maybe I don't, right? Completely up to me. We can keep going down the list. Asset management tool, we're not using anything here, so maybe we're going to completely block those. CRMs, right? Design tools, file sharing application. Ooh, Audio Galaxy, I didn't even know that was still around. That was our source for music back in the day. Oh, and BearShare, holy cow, right? So we might not want any of this stuff running, so we can scroll through there. Anything that we want, we can
What
obviously
about BitTorrent?
whitelist. Yep, BitTorrent not allowed at productive. That's a
What?
do it on your own machine type situation. Absolutely. Absolutely, right? And once we have these on there, we simply do save to the list, and now they've been added down here. My favorite, which I see I actually don't have on, toolbars. That is actually the number one thing that I love blocking. I'm not sure what happened there. I must have checked that off on a demo. Right, and just get rid of that Yahoo toolbar, AOL toolbar, Google toolbar. None of this stuff actually is a tool, is what I've found for the end users. Right.
So will that block it on an install if somebody tries to install the browser and it's gonna, or they download a program?
Yeah. Yep, it's going to prevent it from executing to install. It's not going to prevent you from downloading it on the application control. So it will still get downloaded, but it's not going to be allowed to execute. If it's already installed, it's not going to uninstall it, but it's going to suppress it from being able to launch. Right, and so you're saving resources and you're closing the gap that those things create. Right, so pretty easy to get this set up. When you're first getting it rolling, you can do allow the detected application so that you can see what applications are you going to block that are actually getting used in the environment currently, and then you can go do some investigation and find out why. You know, some of them are going to be pretty obvious that there's no business value behind it, but you might find some stuff that maybe one of your departments is using or has been using for a long time that is actually valuable to them, and maybe you don't want to block it, and you want to create a policy for them that whitelists that, right? So it gives you a lot of capabilities to make sure that you're creating a policy that's going to support your environment, give you the protection that you need, but still allow your business to get transacted the way that it needs to happen. And that's really the big trick with security, is really trying to figure out what's that balance between being available and being totally secure, right? Totally secure would just be everything is completely off, no way to really copy that data or infect you with malware if nothing is in fact on or connected. But then also no legitimate business is going to transact either, right? So how do we figure out what that balance? And it gives you really just a nice, easy way to figure that out. Mobile device management. I really call this MDM Lite. Sophos has another product called Mobile SaaS that really gives you much more granular control. And for folks where you need that, you have a lot of apps that are tunneling back into your environment from those mobile devices. You want to do some application control. You want to be able to recommend apps, control VPN access, that kind of stuff. That's really the solution to look at if your employees all own their devices and you really just want to do some basic controlling like we're doing here, right? Basic password, right? We can block App Store, camera, all of this stuff. We're not going to do any of this stuff because we don't own the phone. The only reason I leave it on is so that you can see those features. If you're running Exchange and soon to be Office 365, you can push out those email settings right from here. You can push out your Wi-Fi right from here, which I really like. Very easy. Rather than having folks come to you and get that code, you plug it into their phone, or you have to email them out your passcode so that they can now give it to whoever they want to give it to, right, rather than using that guest password. Very hard to control. Here, we can push it out to the devices automatically. We'll send an invite, and I'll show you this in a sec, to that end user so that they can self-install the mobile. They can accept the agreement at any point. They can de-enroll by deleting the mobile device agent on that mobile device, whether it's an iPad or an iPhone or an Android tablet or phone, right? And then all of those settings that you've pushed out here are gone. So they're not going to be able to remove their passcode unless they de-enroll from your Wi-Fi, right? So it just gives you a lot of capability to stay protected and stay at the level of protection that you want to be at. So we can also do some automatic deinstalls, or de-enrollments is what I should say, if the phone is jailbroken or rooted, if it hasn't checked in a long time, right? A lot of different things that we can do here. to get them off of the network. And at any point, if someone leaves the organization, we can just go to that device and terminate it instantly. Now, if they call us up and say, hey, I lost it, or someone grabbed it out of my hand and took off running, we can lock it, we can wipe it, we can do some other things to remove all of the data that's on that device versus just getting it off of our network. So a lot of capabilities right there. So to get our, that's pretty much the, web content filter would be the next thing to look at. So we have the web control on, right? Any place where you see let me specify, they've got some recommended policies that you can take advantage of. Anytime we go to let me specify, that's giving you the granular control to come in here and do stuff. Allow, block, and warn. Risky file types, what do I want to do? You can see I've gotten even more granular here with what we want to do. So we watch a lot of videos. We do a lot of Flash. We put a lot of stuff on our YouTube channel that we want the reps and the marketing folks to be able to view and verify and learn from, or be able to see the stuff that we're showing to you so that they can talk to you about it, right? A lot of PDFs for everybody. So we want to allow that stuff to happen. Acceptable web usage, and again, we can start drilling into what's going on. So entertainment, fashion and beauty, allow, block, or warn are our choices. Job search and career development, block. Social networking, right? So you can get pretty granular. And the nice thing about this is this web policy follows that device, right? So you take that laptop home, you take it to a business meeting, you take it on the road. This is following you because it's connected through the internet. If we need to whitelist a website, that end user is going to be able to get that whitelist at their customer, at their hotel, on their site visit, whatever it is that they're doing. I have some global whitelists as well that I can push out from a high level to all of my groups, or I can call them in the groups that I want to call them. So when we're going to whitelist something that we want whitelisted for the whole company, we give it a tag of productive content, and then it follows along in all of these groups where we've called out productive content. We can also make that time-based. We have ours on all the time, right? So you can set that up in a couple of different ways. To get folks started, we can download the agents and we can install them manually, or we can push them out using whatever software push mechanism we want to take advantage of. We can use a GPO if we want to, or we can allow the users to self-install. When it comes to mobile device management, that has to be self-enrolled from the device. So I'm going to send out an invite here to myself. Let me hop on to my mail. We'll give her a sec to pop in. And one of the things that I really dig about the mobile enrollment is the way that it allows the end user to do the install. A couple different methods, and I'll show you this as soon as this email pops in. I actually sent that email, right? Pretty sure I did. There we go. Gives you the opportunity to do just a QR code snap, and then okay, I see how we're going to do it today. Let's just try that one more time.
I think the ghost of Bill Gates is getting one over on you, Pete.
Maybe. I'm not going to slander his good name because I want my machine to continue to work throughout the rest of the day.
Good policy. Light a candle.
Absolutely. So we can snap a QR code right from the device. We can do a manual setup if we want to, or if we're actually reading this on the mobile phone, maybe we've already got email installed and we want to get control over those phones, right? We can do it right from here. But the easiest thing is snap this from your Droid or from your iOS device, and it basically steps you right through it. Any end user can do it. I've tested it with brand new employees as well as seasoned employees, folks who were really not technical at all, and pretty much everybody has been able to pull this off. So very easy to do. Once it's on there, they have an icon on their phone. It doesn't really allow them to do anything because you're controlling it from here. The biggest thing that they can really do is delete that thing, which is going to de-enroll them again from your environment. So that's the mobile, and then the other email that they would get is just the ability to install the endpoint protection. So what we see with a lot of folks is they're controlling the Windows, but they're starting to let some Macs leak in, and they might not be managing those. So we have a BYOD group here for a few people who have brought their own Macs in. So for that situation, we send them the link. They install this on their Mac. I give them usually 24 hours to do it. I pay attention to it in the console, and if they don't get it done, we don't allow them on the network. For the Windows machines, I'm typically downloading the installer, which I do right from here, and I put it in my network share, and then I can push it out with the GPO. Talk to a lot of folks who are using like a quick deploy or an Altiris or SCCM or whatever you're using to push out software, you'll be able to do it that same way. Lots of things to get from this section here. So we've got our traditional endpoint, Windows and Mac. I've got my server protection. I've got the virtual environment. This is only available right now for VMware. Hyper-V support is on the way. You've got some things you can do for Chromebooks, right? So Secure Web Gateway, it's monitoring all the traffic that's coming into or leaving that device. And now, and I'm not super familiar with this yet, but you can actually set up a Sophos embedded CentOS server in Amazon. So it's a server that's basically hardened and secured with Sophos embedded on it that you can then start installing CentOS apps into. So pretty slick, right? And then the mobile management, that has to go out from either the App Store or the Play Store, which that's an Apple policy or a Google policy. So no code to download there and no way to get that onto a device other than getting it from the app or the Play Store. So that's a lot of stuff at a high level. I really didn't cover server policies, but you can manage your servers in a very similar way to your endpoints. A lot of controls. As far as a protection standpoint, this really isn't a ton different from the on-prem products other than the ability to control and report on machines wherever they're at, which is really a huge boon. We've had a great experience with Sophos. We've been a partner for the last 5 years. We think it's great protection. We have a lot of satisfied customers, and definitely would like to talk to anybody who's interested one-on-one about what this product can do to help you shore up your security environment.
Absolutely. I think there is so much to see here, and this is really just the endpoint, right? Sophos Central, big picture, is going to be, managing everything, right? All that stuff, it's going to coordinate the gateway and all the different pieces that Sophos is bringing on board, right? That is all part of it. It'll all be managed via Sophos Central. So that is pretty cool stuff. Pete, thank you very much for an informative, and kind of a cool presentation. You can blow the smoke off your gun now, right?
Absolutely.
For all the folks that took the time to come see this today, thank you very much. We know that taking 30 minutes out of your day is a significant chunk, so we appreciate that. Let us know how we did. Let us know what else you'd like to see. We put these on for your benefit. As for now, I am Todd Obert, along with Pete Greco, going to be signing off. Oh, you know what? So question coming here. I'm going to throw this out to you real quick, Pete. Is there a simple upgrade path from Sophos Enterprise Console and the Sophos Web Appliance to this product?
Yes, there is a conversion tool that helps you bring your on-prem policies into the cloud product. The agent, which I actually didn't show either, looks exactly the same as the on-prem product, but you do need to uninstall the old agent and replace it with the cloud-connected agent, which is going to basically be tied directly to your console. That happens automatically. You actually need to download the agent from your console to be able to control it from your console, right? We actually are recommending to the bulk of our customers, though, to start from scratch, which we can help you with, because it is a great time to review and reconfigure a lot of those policies that you've been running for a long time to make sure that they're matching your modern environment. That's not a blanket rule that applies to everybody, so I'd say let's talk about it for your individual environment, but a lot of great reasons to consider starting from scratch. But there is the conversion tool. It works. It's pretty slick. It's also something we can help you take advantage of, and I think there's reasons to go both routes.
Hey, Pete, does this replace Pure Message?
No. Pure Message could be replaced with a UTM, where you're doing anti-spam at the gateway and email security at the gateway. Pure Message is, I shouldn't say, because I don't know if you're going to need to manage Pure Message from here eventually, but most of our folks are moving from that Pure Message to either a standalone email appliance or doing it on the UTM, which is what we like and what we recommend.
All right, fantastic. Well, thanks everybody once again for attending. I am Todd Obert along with Pete Greco, wishing you a fantastic balance of your day and week, and hopefully we'll talk soon. Thanks.